Hello and welcome to Biz Daily. I'm Jon Jordan. So the news today is that US developer Super Evil Megacorp, which is the developer behind the MOBA Vainglory, has done another investment round. So it did a almost $12 million investment round about a year ago, and that was while it was working on Vainglory before the game had come out. And now it's on a $26 million investment round, so an additional round. And the really interesting news is we've been following Vainglory, as many people have, since it came out, and it's been what we've kind of colloquially called the curse of the mobile MOBA. So lots of companies have seen the success of MOBAs on PC, particularly League of Legends, and they've kind of thought, really great kind of genre, should work really well on mobile. And lots of people have tried, and there's been different ways. You've had kind of cut down matches so there's less people, faster kind of session times, obviously redesigned the controls to make it work for a touchscreen rather than a keyboard and a mouse, and none of them have been successful. So depending on how you look at it, Vainglory has been the least successful, or the most successful, or however you say it, but it's kind of been successful in the sense that it's been a very well funded company, put together a very well polished product, massively backed from Apple, and it's just come out for Android about a month ago. So it's kind of out there, and if you wanted to play a mobile MOBA, Vainglory would be the one you would play. But the problem they've kind of had to deal with is it's not been monetizing very well. So the developer, Super Evil, they're quite open that they say they don't really care about monetization, and because they've done these big funding rounds, potentially they don't need to. So instead of like a normal game where you basically want to get as big an audience as possible and then start monetizing them as much as possible, their kind of view is they want as big an audience as they can, and they'll worry about monetization later. And the reason that this is kind of interesting, and the reason that they've done this very big round of funding again, is that they've now positioning Vainglory as a eSports game. So to me that makes total sense, because League of Legends is the original eSports kind of game, and eSports game just means that you have like a very high level of professional players who play it, you know, at a as you would play a professional sport. They kind of focus on it all the time. They're professionals that get kind of go to tournaments and get potentially tens of thousands of dollars for winning those tournaments. But what's really interesting is that the base of the pyramid, what's really driving that ecosystem is the spectators. And these are people who might even play the game, or they might play at a very low level. Certainly they kind of almost kind of like, you know, like a five-a-side kind of soccer pub team, or what the equivalent in baseball is. But they kind of enjoy kind of watching these people play. And that's been particularly strong in Asia, particularly Korea, and that's where we've kind of found that Vainglory has actually done its first kind of professional tournament that happened a couple of weeks ago, and now as part of this kind of funding round, they've actually done a deal with a Korean company who will kind of be helping them out in the esports thing, and they've also done a deal in China. So the game has been available in China on iOS, not been pushed very heavily. So Super Evil have done a deal with Giant Interactive, who are one of the big PC companies over there, and they'll be kind of localizing it and kind of getting the Chinese kind of gamers involved, and that again potentially very interesting for esports. But what's really interesting, I guess, is that when Vainglory was originally kind of designed, and when Super Evil were thinking about their strategy, they didn't think about esports. Maybe in the back of their mind they did, but basically they thought they were going to be like a fairly traditional game where you get people to download and play. And it's kind of their view is, or that their kind of argument is, that the kind of fan base have kind of pushed them or encouraged them into this esports business that they didn't really think they would get into, at least so quickly. And they, to a degree, I mean, it's a kind of term that is maybe a bit pejorative, but the company has pivoted in terms of, pivot just means you have one business model, and then actually halfway through that business model you decide there's another better business model that you're going to change to. And that's kind of what's happened with Vainglory. It became a game that they thought was going to be just kind of played mobile MOBA, and it's become a kind of just a MOBA in the sense that going for this kind of esports business. And it's very kind of interesting. I think it's a different type of interaction going on with the audience there, and a much longer play. And maybe that means that their view of monetization, as in not monetizing kind of heavily and early, will actually work out. So the argument would be they want to get as many people just to play it and kind of get involved in how you play the game and kind of the stars of this game. They've set up a league now as well where you can kind of see these stars, and that'll be very interesting to see how that plays out. So that's the news today. Come back tomorrow and we'll see what the news is then. See you then.